Welcome back, Watchmen. Let's analyze. Today, the ledger begins a new chapter, with the rising of the Enigmatic Spire. While the early hours were defined by stagnant defenses and repetitive skirmishes, the day ended with a vertical ascent that defied immediate logic. The air is now thick with the scent of an unseen catalyst. The watch began in the deep hours of the morning with an opening at 63 cents, only to face an immediate rejection from the 66-cent bastion shortly thereafter. This forced a long, flat retreat to 64 cents. As the first light touched the wires, a shallow decline from 64.5 pushed the lines towards the day's low of 62. Before the dawn, a bounce established a base at 63 that held until the engagement began in earnest. The gate swung wide at 64 with sudden upward momentum, though the advance was halted shortly after the opening by rejection from 66.5. As the morning session progressed, a bounce from 64.5 led to the first major seize of the 67 resistance before the midday lull, which held firm. Buyers retreated to find footing at 64.5 again during the midday meal, coiling for a second assault on 67 in the early afternoon that was similarly repelled. Before the final hour, a bounce from 66 ignited a high-volume surge that shattered the day's ceilings, driving the price into a relentless rally to close the session at 72 cents. The morning brought news of an emissary sent to the XRP presentation in Tokyo, though the announcement provided no immediate spark for the early lethargy. The late session surge remains unexplained by official wires, occurring on lower than average volume despite the intensity of the move. This quiet accumulation suggests a hidden hand moving assets behind the veil of the public markets. The spire has been cast against the sky, yet the foundation remains a mystery. We watch the horizon for the signal that explains the strike. Now let's move to the window and view the charts. Here on the daily, we can see this big, nice, tall green candle that broke through the SMA here. We actually broke through the 20 as well. So we're sitting right on top of the 20 and the 50, which is gonna switch some of those algorithms to work in our favor tomorrow. Let's go ahead and dive a little deeper so we can see in better detail. All right, so notice we have this hourly demand zone that formed right here at the base of the rally. It was, I really didn't have any, there's no explanation for the late day surge in volume that caused this, but hey, it's welcome. We'll take it. So we got this nice little demand zone to form as support here at 67 cents. So if price falls back down here, we should get a little reaction out of this. Now we can go ahead and zoom in a little deeper and honor the candle of the day. And a lot of people are thinking, you know, let's pick one of these, and at first I thought about that, but then we're going to go with the opening candle today. Set the mood for the rest of the day in this upward fashion here, and really gave us a good outlook on the day. We need that in today's times. We need as much encouragement as we can get. So kudos to you. You are today's winner. And now we can back out and do our forecast. Alright, so like I said yesterday, there's really nothing technical between us and the dollar mark. So I don't have a place to mark any, there's no real resistance on the board. That being said, if we can continue our momentum yet again, we might see a little fake out bull trap down to this demand zone and then another bounce higher. Of course, we could always run sideways during pre-market and then fall down here and get a little sell-off, something like that. But given momentum, I think that we're going to see this first arrow. We're going to see another little climb tomorrow. Now, that being said, we can move to the tickers in the foreign lands, do an update on some of our older trades. PMNT is still kind of sitting in this same little range right here. If it doesn't show any real action, probably end up just closing that one out right here at this when the market opens tomorrow. Just take my little bit of winnings and run. And then we come back to AGPU from yesterday. We can see that the entry was hit, and the first and second profit targets were both hit. So now we have a stop that's adjusted up to this 356 level, and we're waiting to see what happens tomorrow. Either we'll get stopped out or we'll hit this final profit target up at 480. Alright, now today we have two new tickers we're looking at. Visionary Holdings, ticker symbol is GV. We are going to, this zone is actually on the 15-minute. I'll mark this here. Or is this the one that was on the 5? No, yeah, this 15-minute zone right here. Alright, so we're going to mark this one, our long position here. Will I stop? About there. And then we'll put some profit targets here and here. What is that, around 3,675 and 48 cents, something like that. I'm running a 9-to-1 risk to reward on this guy. We'll stay tuned tomorrow and see how that pans out. And the next one is SIDU Space Incorporated. Ticker symbol is SIDU. We're gonna look here at the hourly for this one. Oh wait, no, this one was the 15-minute too. Okay, so we'll come down here and we'll set this a little, this one's a little, oh no, this one was on the daily. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so we got some daily demand here with this one. If you look, you see it close really close up to the top of the candle. That's really bullish. We got this daily zone here, and then we have, I thought we had another little 5-minute zone in here somewhere. We do, right here. Now for things like this, when I see two zones like this, I'm always going to bank on the bigger zone. We got this daily zone down here, but it's going to be tricky. You don't want to set your profit target way up here at the top. We'll run this. We got like a 3-to-1. So we can set some profit targets in here, around 250 and 290-ish, something like that. Alright, and we'll come back tomorrow and check these out and see how we're doing. Alright, so that's going to bring the session to a close. Go ahead and smash that like button, ring the closing bell to subscribe. Stay tuned for our class this weekend, and come back to check out the tickers in the foreign lands. Until the end of all things, the Night Watch stands forever.